Hi, welcome back to the Scent Advocate. Tonight I'm talking about a couple of fragrances that I'm considering adding to my collection. I've been testing them for a while, and I thought it would be fun to take you through the exercise I go through last. So first I test them on paper. Then I try them on skin, and if I like them after having tried them on skin a few times, I I will take a peek through my collection to see if there's anything that comes close, and if close, how close, to the fragrance I'm considering buying. I really don't like to have more than one fragrance in my collection that smells a certain way. Now, there are genres of fragrances, and that's fine for me, but a fragrance that's too similar to another is just something that's not for me. And I know that isn't everyone's way. There are people who buy backup bottles, people who buy, like fragrance twins, things like that. And that's fine, whatever works for you. But for me, I just want one of a very specific scent. There are a couple of exceptions in my collection, but those happened as a result of gifts. So if someone gives me a gift and I happen to have a fragrance that's very, very similar to the way that gift smells, I'm not going to give away the gift or the one that I already purchased. I will keep them both, and I won't run out of that scent anytime soon. But in these instances, I'm kind of on the fence for different reasons that I'll explain as I go through. There are 5 that I'm considering. And there's one in particular. I was thinking of saving it for last, but I may just go first with it because it's kind of bothering me. And I would love for you to stick around till the end of the video, but I just got to get this one off my chest. So I'll talk about that one first. Before we get into it, of course, what are we drinking this evening? It's got to be coffee, right? For me, at least. But I will tell you, I had a very nice glass of Malbec with dinner, and oh, it was so pretty, flowery. It went beautifully with the pasta I had. And that was a while ago, though, so now I'm on to my coffee. Let's jump right into the first fragrance. There is one called Iris Root by Loewe, and it was a suggestion by someone who watches the channel. And I've been testing it, and I have to tell you, I absolutely love it. It's fantastic. The nose behind it is, let's see, Nerea Cruelis. I apologize for butchering the name. It's a 2025 release, and it is an EDP, and for 100 ml, it goes for about $500. The notes in it are Timur, Angelica, Orris Root, and Iris. This fragrance is very Orris, I should say, forward. I love Iris. I love Orris. I love all purple, powdery florals. This is a very lipstick-like, classic fragrance. First of all, thank you for the suggestion. This is exactly the sort of fragrance I love. It's very vegetal, not too sweet, not too frilly. It's very unisex as Orris fragrances go. I just adore it. It's an easy reach for any day, any evening. It is a year-round fragrance. My problem is the price. I have a large collection, and these bottles are not inexpensive. This fragrance, however, it's a bit linear for me to feel comfortable spending that kind of money without really thinking it through. And I had to stop myself because I fell so hard so fast for this fragrance. I love it. But it is, in my opinion, linear. So I went through the motions with the fragrances I have in my collection that are iris or orris that I think might be similar. Now, I have a lot of iris, orris, purple florals in my collection. Not all of them are the same type. So the ones that stood out to me as being potentially similar enough to stop me from moving forward are, where are we first? Where'd you go? Ah, yes. Lipstick On by Maison Margiela. This is a very lipstick-like, non-sweet iris. Okay. The notes, by the way, in Lipstick On are, where are you? Okay. So heliotrope, bergamot, neroli, iris, galbanum, orange blossom, tonka bean, bourbon, vanilla, patchouli. Oh boy. Not as similar as I thought. Yeah. Lipstick On, as much as I thought it was just what it sounded like, very lipsticky, when compared to Iris Root, it is far less linear. It has a lot more going on. I think the heliotrope, the tonka bean, the vanilla give it a sweetness that is completely absent in Iris Root. Iris Root, again, is vegetal. It's linear. Lipstick On, in case you're curious, is a 2015 release for 100 ml of an EDT, which is what I have. It costs about $570, but that is not what I paid for the fragrance. I believe this is discontinued, and that might explain the price. Now, $570 was the most I saw it listed for. I saw it in the 300s as well. You could probably get a decant for, I'm sure you could get a decant for much less. But I've got enough, right? This isn't, and it lasts beautifully. This does not wear like an eau de toilette. So I don't, that one is not, it's not a fragrance twin. All right, the next one I thought might be similar was Incarnata by Anatole Lebreton. And this fragrance is for a 50 ml EDP. A 2015 release. It goes for about $128. It's lipstick with powder, right? Very classic with opposing textures. It's waxy and at the same time powdery. It's got that waxy lipstick thing going on, and at the same time it's powdery. The notes in this are raspberry, violet, rhododendron, powdery notes, orris, rose, myrrh, suede, amber, benzoin, and vanilla. This dries down to a slightly fruitier version of Iris Root. It's more complex than Iris Root. Once again, Iris Root is very linear to me. But it too is very powdery, makeup-like. Iris Root is too, but it's more vegetal. So this is close. This is real close. The other fragrance from my collection I thought might be similar to Iris Root is Iris 39 by Labo. This is a 50 ml EDP. It's a 2006 release and it goes for $240. The nose behind this is Frank Vocal. I like this because, to me, this is a very unique iris experience. The notes in this are iris, patchouli, violet, musk, civet, ylang ylang, ginger, lime, cardamom, and rose. The patchouli in this is very strong for me. You have to like patchouli. Patchouli with soft edges that iris and violet will give a fragrance. The civet is very subtle, but there's something there. There's just a nod, a slight nod at an animalic. There's a zippiness to it, presumably from the ginger and the lime. The cardamom also lends some softness, a little hint of that warmth. And there's rose. The musk, I can't distinguish, usually with Labo, when there's a musk involved, my perception of it tends to be more ambrette. So a vegetal substitute, I shouldn't say vegetal, a plant-based substitute for, traditional animal musks. And that could also be adding to the powdery feel. Ultimately, it's not the same as Iris Root. It doesn't come close. They're completely different. So I think Incarnata is probably the closest. So what I will do is put probably, one day this week, I'll put Iris Root on one wrist, Incarnata on another, and smell them throughout the following hours and see how they play out. Those are the ones, and like I said, I have a lot more iris forward or orris forward fragrances, but those were the ones that I thought might come close, and I was right about that Incarnata. Okay, next, what I'm testing is Quercus by Penhaligon. I've been testing Quercus forever. I got a sample of this many years ago, and I just can't get it out of my head. So Quercus. Quercus is, it is for 100 ml, it would cost $210 for the 100 ml. And the thing about it is, it's an eau de cologne. It's a 1996 release. The nose behind this is Christian Provenzano. The notes are lemon, lime, bergamot, mandarin orange, lily of the valley, jasmine, cardamom, oak moss, musk, galbanum, sandalwood, and amber. Really compelling notes. This stuff smells amazing. It's a bright citrus. It's a very uplifting, happy, positive, energizing fragrance. On me, it does not last. I've tested this. I've had multiple testers. I adore it. But for $210, I want something that's going to last more than 15 minutes. And I'm really not, a longevity freak. I don't mind reapplying fragrance after an hour or two. I enjoy it. I love a refresh. I wear it for me. I don't wear it for anyone else. And if that's what I want to do, I'll reapply, and as long as I'm not, alienating everyone around me, I'm good, So, but this one, as much as I adore it, the longevity just isn't there. But for the sake of this exercise, I thought let me grab a few fragrances that give me the same uplifting, kind of zippy, zingy, energizing, yet close to the skin experience that I get from Quercus. And the first I thought of is Marin by James Heeley. Now, this is salty. It's oceanic. It's a very photorealistic ocean water scent. I chose this because it has lemon, bergamot, green notes, seawater, salt, seagrass, moss, cedar, musk, and leather. And what I get out of this is a brightness, a citrus-driven brightness. And the longevity on this, or with this, is fantastic. I'm also deeply emotionally attached to this fragrance. This is one of the best fragrances in my collection. I adore it. I know some people get a, I don't know, like a seafoody type. I don't smell anything like that. I get just seawater in the freshest, most salty, perfect way. I mean, there's nothing negative about this fragrance to me. But I've heard a lot of people say, oh, you know, it smells like seaweed and there's, you know, a funk. I don't get that at all. This to me is gorgeous beyond words. I adore this. And Quercus has that brightness. It's got a little more of a, I don't know, the flowers in Quercus come out, right? The jasmine, the lily of the valley, they come out a bit more, and the citrus smells less photorealistic. It smells more, it's wonderful, but they smell more contrived. Whereas Marin smells very realistic. And when I compare Quercus to Marin, the answer is no to Quercus. I'm just now having this, you know, kind of epiphany in front of you. Okay, no. But I will tell you, oh, I don't think I told you about the James Heeley. So for 100 ml EDP, it is $195, and it's a 2008 release. I also pulled out, in case I didn't come to that conclusion as quickly as I did, I also pulled out Thomas Kosmala's La Selle de la Terre, number 7. I thought this might be similar to Quercus. And let's give it a try, shall we? I've had this in my collection a little while too, and I really, really, really like it. This is a 2018 release. It is 100 ml. It's an EDP, and it goes for $235. So this is lemon, sea notes, bergamot, watery notes, floral notes, musk and woods. This is so pleasant, so fresh. It's different than Marin, more of a freshwater experience than sea, but it's, I don't know, this, let's compare it to the Quercus. Yeah, this is much more similar to Quercus, but I tell you, I like the Thomas Kosmala better. So Quercus is going to be a hard no for me, because I've got these two fragrances that scratch the itch, and I think the similarities are not super close between Quercus and these two, but I just like these better. and they last much longer, and I feel like I don't need Quercus since I have both of these. Yeah. And, you know, again, they're not the same as each other. They're not the same as Quercus, but for me, they're better than. So I'm passing on Quercus. Okay. The next fragrance I've been testing is Constantinople by Penhaligon's. So Constantinople is where? Among my notes. Here we go. So the noses behind this, I should say, are Christophe Renaud and Marie Salamagne. For 100 ml of this fragrance, which is an EDP, it would be $330, and it was released in 2021. So Constantinople is geranium, lavender, pink pepper, rose, cypriol, concrete, patchouli, vanilla, and moss. One of the challenges I have with Penhaligons is their bottles really intrigue me, and their scents are so pleasant. I really enjoy them. This is a candied rose, a spicy candied rose to me. And it's got a sweetness that I just adore. But it's not a gourmand. And it's not too spicy. And yet, the name, right, Constantinople, makes me think of, you can probably guess, Babylon. Also by Penhaligon's. There we go. Now, I love this one. It's very dear to me. I wear it a lot, but I can tell you right now, they're too different. I can smell it. They're not even close. Yeah, not even close. So I'm not going to bother comparing them. I'll just tell you briefly, the Babylon is a 2019 release. This is a 100 ml. It is an EDP and it goes for $310. The notes in this are nutmeg, cypriol, saffron, coriander, vanilla, cedar, and sandalwood. So what are the same notes? Why did I think perhaps these would be similar? I think it's probably the cypriol and the vanilla, maybe. It's probably also because of the locations of the cities after which these fragrances are named. So whether those cities are long gone or you know, somewhat long gone and very long gone. But yeah, the first thing that came to mind was this. I thought, well, you know, Babylon, Constantinople, there's got to be, you know, a similarity, but there really isn't. So I'm not going to bother taking that any further. The other one that stood out to me as a potential similar fragrance is Harrod by Parfums de Marly. And again, I'm thinking, you know, kind of a spicy fragrance. So the nose behind this is Olivier Pichot. This is a 2012 release. It's an EDP. It is 75 ml and it goes for $260. The notes in this are cinnamon, pepperwood, which I think is a fantasy note, osmanthus, tobacco leaf, labdanum, incense, vanilla, cedar, vetiver, patchouli, iso e super. I didn't realize that, cypriol and musk. Okay, so again, we've got that kind of cypriol in there. We've got what are the other similarities? Is there patchouli? No. Not much beyond that. Okay, so, oh yes, there is patchouli in both. Sorry about that. And vanilla in both. So maybe there is some similarity. Let's see, shall we? Harrod is just amazing. Very pretty. Very unisex. I shouldn't say very pretty. It's pretty to me. No. Well, just a minute. These may be too similar. Maybe. And again, you know, it's so relative. It's all about what you perceive. The Constantinople has far more floral. And the Harrod is more spicy, resinous. But they're similar to me. And therefore, I'm going to have to give this a wrist-to-wrist test and see how they wear on my skin. Because if they're similar in that test, then one will scratch the itch, and that's Harrod. I can definitely tell the difference, though. I switched up I could tell the difference. Even though I switched up the scent strips. Okay, so that is Constantinople. The next fragrance I was thinking about is Tansu Silk by Nos Republic. This is really, really, really nice. Have you heard of it? It's not one that I'd heard about before, but the notes intrigued me, so I got a tester and I really love it. So Tansu Silk is by Maria Golovina. It is an EDP released in 2023. 50 ml goes for $210. I think that's pretty pricey. The notes are osmanthus, incense, pink pepper, hinoki cypress, orris, ambrette, musk, and sandalwood. Now, the first thing that popped into my mind with silk, of course, Soie Malachis by Dries Van Noten. And where are you? Soie Malachis. Okay. So this is an EDP. It's 100 ml. It's released in 2022 and it goes for $400. The notes in this are bergamot, blackcurrant, rose, silk, chestnut, and cocoa. So what do we see that are similar? Well, Tansu Silk doesn't have a silk note in it. Maybe it's more of an accord thing, you know, a combination of notes that give a silk feel. Nothing. Straight up nothing. Let's see how they smell side by side. Just because they both have silk in the name, right? One's in French, but do they smell the same? No. There's something reminiscent for sure. Maybe silk is like a fantasy accord. Because I have quite a few, I've talked about this before. I have quite a few silk scarves in my wardrobe, and I adore them. But I don't think they smell like anything necessarily, to be honest with you. And there is a similarity here. In fact, the more I smell, the more I perceive of that similarity. Let's just take a sip. They're different, but there's something with Soie Malachis. There's almost a faint mint going on comparatively, and I can't put my finger on why. Sometimes it gives me some chocolate Soie Malachis, but tonight it's not. The Tansu Silk, I get a fair amount of creaminess from that sandalwood. it really comes across more as a like a benzoin. If I didn't know better, I'd say benzoin in the, or maybe even tonka. Yeah, probably more tonka. Yeah. So what I'm perceiving in these fragrances are not among the notes. I think there's a similar enough vibe going on. I can't put my finger on why exactly. Maybe it's that silk. Like I said, there's a silk accord or something, but I will do a wrist test for those. The last fragrance I'm testing, that was the last fragrance. What do you know? I'm done. I got so, I had so many notes with all these comparisons, so my apologies. Yeah, so the fragrances again that I'm considering are Iris Root. What's holding me off is the price. Then we've got Quercus. What's holding me off is the price relative to the longevity. And I've already decided that's a hard no. Penhaligons, Constantinople, I'm going to test against Terre. The Nos Republic Tansu Silk, I'm going to test against Soie Malachise, and I didn't say this and I should have. What's putting me off about Iris Root I covered, but I am going to test that against Incarnata because it is much more similar than at first I thought it would be. So what is your process for testing fragrances when you are considering buying one, especially if you have a large collection, or even if you don't have a large collection and you think you might have something similar already there? Do you instead not have a problem with that? Do you buy backup bottles? Do you buy fragrances that are, you know, fragrance twins to ones you already have in your collection? Let me know what you think. Let me know what you do. If you're not yet a subscriber to the channel, please consider subscribing. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.